Welcome back, beautiful people. It is a pleasure to have on someone you love, someone you know, someone that just graduated from Central.
Yeah.
Miss Cindy, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
It's great to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here, actually.
So, I know I could go into how exactly we met,
Yes.
but would you like to describe to whoever is listening and watching, appreciate you by the way, how exactly you and I crossed paths?
So we met our junior year, or my junior year at Central. We were taking stats together. And I remember I was so nervous because I'm like super shy and like I usually don't talk to like my classmates. And I was like, I'm going to be fucked if I don't make friends because I suck at math.
Mm-hmm.
And literally Mario like got up in front of the class and was like, if anybody wants to start like a Snapchat group, like let me know. Like we can start a group.
This is true.
And so like you, me, Nick.
Shout out to Nick. He's been on the pod before.
Love you, Nick. We started a Snap group chat for stats, and we would meet like every week at the library to like help each other just like study and like do the work and shit. But yeah, no, that's how we met, and it was really fun, and I was really happy that you did that because I would not have.
I was happy too. I would have died.
Yeah.
I'm someone who suffers in silence.
Yeah,
like
me
you
too.
said.
Me too.
So I definitely would have had to retake that class, which I'm so glad.
No, yeah, me too. Because if we didn't have that group, I would have had to retake the class too.
But here we are. You just graduated.
I know. Thank you.
Does it feel real?
No.
Has it hit you yet?
No, I feel like not yet. I feel like I don't know when it will. Like I just feel like I'm still in the fall gonna like go back to school and like start again.
Right.
But I know that that's like not gonna happen. I don't know. I still don't feel like I graduated yet. And like I'm telling people like, oh, I graduated college, like whatever. But I don't know. It still doesn't feel like it. I don't know when.
I'm assuming you had a grad party too.
Not yet. Not yet. No, soon. I think at the end of this month.
Maybe that'll feel.
Yeah, I feel like that too because then I'll really like be celebrating it and everybody's gonna be like, congrats, and I feel like that, will help me.
Do you have any plans? And it's okay if you don't. But do you have any plans to kind of accommodate and help yourself in the real world? Because like you're technically done, right?
Yeah,
No,
I am.
you're not going for your masters.
I am.
You? Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Oh, so you're not done.
I'm not done yet, but like.
Are you going right away?
No. Undergrad, I'm done with.
Are you taking a year off or something?
I'm taking a gap year.
Okay.
So next year in the fall, I'm planning to start grad school.
Where are you gonna go?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, like where to go and like what I want to do.
Just run it back.
I just don't know. I just don't know what I want to do.
Go to Central.
That's what I was thinking. I loved Central. Like I really do. I had an amazing 4 years at Central. Like all the professors I had were fucking amazing. Like I just love the school.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your GPA?
Graduated?
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah, they'll take you. They just want your money.
Yeah, right. I know. I love Central and I have thought about it, but I don't know. I also kind of like want to see if I can go like out of state even, maybe. That would be like interesting for me to like go somewhere else for grad school.
That would be good.
But I don't know.
Would you rather save your money though? Would that'd
yeah.
probably be more expensive.
Yeah. I know, but I guess it really just depends on like the program too and like what it has to offer and stuff because like I said I just don't know exactly like what I would go to grad school for yet. So I want to like figure that out like within this year like to try to like narrow it down because I feel like I have so many options that it's like I don't know where to start.
So let's rewind a little bit. Before college.
Yes.
If you were to look at yourself now compared to before high school, what are the pros and cons or major differences?
I feel like there's a lot. I don't know. I feel like I've definitely grown in a lot of ways since then. Like, even, like, freshman year of college, I feel like I'm so different from them. But, like, prior to college in high school, I feel like I said, I've always been shy. I was always really shy.
Have you always been able to get along with people?
Yeah, I feel like relatively.
You seem like you are.
I feel like I'm shy, but like I'm definitely like a nice person.
Would you call yourself just an introvert all around, or would you say you're an extroverted introvert? That's what I think.
Yeah, I feel like because I feel like if you don't know me, like I'll be like kind of quiet and like shy, but then once you do get to know me and I'm like comfortable with you, I feel like I'm really crazy, like and like comfortable and just like myself. Yeah.
So, if you were to be able to talk to your younger self, what would that conversation be like? How would that go?
I don't know. I feel like I would just tell myself to like, have more confidence in myself, because I feel like that's definitely something that, like, I struggled with and, like, still do. It's just, like, my confidence and, like, believing in myself. Like, I feel like when I was younger, especially, like, in high school, like, I feel like I had no, like, direction and didn't really know, like, what I wanted to do.
Did you always
like,
know you wanted to go to college?
No, I didn't
Really?
actually. I didn't. It was more so to, like, please my parents. It wasn't, like, a choice that I, like, wanted to make. Because, like...
You glad you did?
Yeah. Like, I feel like I just got lucky, honestly. Because I never, like, wanted to go to college. Like, that was just, like, not what I had in mind. And my parents were the ones who were just always like, you're going to go to college. Like, you have to go to college. Like, whatever. And so, like, when I was applying in high school, I kind of, like, didn't really give a fuck, like, to where I was, like, applying to, like, wow. I just didn't have any interest in it. And I remember when I got accepted to Central, it definitely wasn't, like, the school that I had in mind. Like, it was, like, a last option type shit. Wow. And then, like, with financial aid and just, like, the cost of everything, like, I ended up having to choose Central because it was just, like, the most affordable.
Yeah.
And I, like, literally hated it. Like, which is so crazy because I love Central now. But, like, the first semester there, I was just so miserable. I hated it.
Did you come in the fall of 2019?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so same as me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know why, I just didn't like it. Like, I was like, the campus is so ugly. Like, I was just so negative
just ragging
about
on
it.
Central.
Yeah, literally, I was a straight hater. I was. Wow. But then after the first semester, like, I made, like, friends that I still have now. And I feel like after that, in the spring semester, like, I was like, nah, like, I love Central.
So, but wasn't that when COVID happened too?
Yeah.
So you loved Central when we had to stay home?
Yeah. Literally, we got sent home. Yeah.
What was COVID like for you? That whole era.
Honestly,
everyone has their own story to share.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah.
For me, at the time, I thought that I was thriving. Like, I swore I was, like, doing so good and, like, my best self and, like, whatever. But, like, looking back on it now, like, I was definitely, like, not good. Like, I was definitely struggling.
Were there reasons why you were...
Yeah,
why you believed that, but
definitely
wasn't the case? What?
I feel like there was a lot of things that, like, played into it. Like, first of all, like I said, I ended up loving Central. So then when we got sent home, I was so fucking sad. Like, I was like, no. I was having so much fun. Like, I just really got the hang of things, and, like, I feel like that just got, like, stopped. And so I was, like, really sad to be sent home. And, like, also my life at home at the time, like, wasn't the best, and I, like, did not want to be home. So then having to, like, be forced to be home all the time was just not fun for me. And yeah, so I feel like it was just hard to be, like, in that isolation where, like, you literally just could not do anything. And, like, I just, yeah, it was really horrible.
How have you been able to normally pass the time throughout your life, whether it's high school or college, whenever you're in your free time?
I feel like more so in high school, like we've talked about, I used to be super into art. Like, I still am. But I feel like I used to draw, like, just, like, so much more and just, like, do art a lot more. So I feel like that was something that I did a lot to pass my time. I was also super into poetry.
Really?
Yeah, and I used to write a lot of poetry
in high
school. I don't even know what they were. I don't even know.
Haikus are 5, 7, 5
Yeah, I definitely
syllables.
didn't follow, like, a rule book or anything. I just kind of, like, wrote these, like, little things.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was, like, super into it at the time. And then I just, like, stopped doing that.
So, just for the record, her and I have talked many times. So, it's not like I'm having a stranger on or talking to a stranger. So, you and I have covered many, many topics.
I know.
So, it's, you know, I don't want to BS anybody. Like, oh, yeah.
I know.
No, but it seems, and I've talked about this before, but why do you feel that you deprive yourself of some things that you're passionate about? Or you don't allow yourself to explore more into that, if that makes sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you say you were into it.
Yeah, and
why did you lose touch with it?
That's what I was gonna say. I don't know why. Like, I don't, and I feel like that's what I've been trying to figure out. Like, what happened for me to lose touch with those things? Like, I definitely question that, like, myself.
Was there any people that judged you, or was there any?
You know what? I feel like if anything, I wouldn't say, like, judged, because, for instance, like, the poetry thing, that was something that like nobody knew that I did. Like that was just something like was for myself, and like I kept for myself.
Wow.
But like with the art stuff, like I would put myself into like art shows like at school, and like I was super into it, and like a lot of people knew like that I loved art. But I feel like honestly my dad was like super critical like about my art, and it was something that I've always been passionate about. And so when he would say like really negative things, I feel like it really affected me, and I was like, damn, like I suck, like I'm not like a good artist, like this isn't good. And so I kind of just like really got like self-critical like with myself, and just started like critiquing so much, like, and nitpicking every little thing like about my artwork, and like just convincing myself like it's not good enough, like I'm not a good artist. And I feel like just having that mentality like over time just kind of, I feel like it is part of the reason why I just stopped doing, because I just felt like it wasn't good enough.
Do you feel that you're at a point in life where you genuinely wouldn't care what anyone would have to say?
No.
Still care?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think are some things you could do to work on that?
I don't even know. I don't know why. I mean, definitely I don't care as much as I did before about like people's opinions on me. I feel like that used to be like a really big thing for me. But
right.
I don't know. I still do find myself at times just like caring a lot about what people think about me. And
you ever thought about posting and ghosting? Like if you were to start an art page or something?
We've kind of talked about that, but like, and I would love to do that, but I just don't.
But why?
I don't know. I feel like I just need to let like that barrier down.
But do you feel that you need like a push?
Maybe.
Or something?
Yeah.
Like if I right now just wrote instructions or just like wrote a page and gave you the information, and I'm like, I'm not touching this, is yours.
Yeah. I feel like
you would just use it. Like, do you feel that's what you need? Like a genuine
I do.
A push for anybody isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's encouraged.
Yeah, because I feel like
it's just taking the first step.
Right. I'll be honest. Like, I definitely don't have like a lot of like self-discipline, and I feel like that's really important. And I'm not.
That's
like
everyone's biggest problem.
Try to tell myself to do something, like I can't do it. But like for instance, like for like work or like school, like I'll be there on time. Like I'll do what I gotta do, and I'll show up. But like for myself, when I make like certain goals for myself, it's like just so much harder for me to like meet them, because like no one's telling me like I have to meet them other than myself.
Nothing ever happens overnight.
Right.
That's the big thing, because then you'll just fizz out 5 days later.
Right.
The last person I just had on, Jason, he's actually a life coach in training and development, and he, what was exactly that he said? It was something along the lines of how people will, I don't know if this has ever happened, I know it's happened to me, it'll just be like 2 a.m., and I'll just be like, today's the day where I turn my life around.
Yes.
I'll make my bed, and I'll just go on a cleaning thing, and do everything, and I'm like, yes, I feel great, and then a week later, everything's messy again.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be that,
right?
Because there are days when you lose motivation, but on the days where you lose it, and you're still able to stay consistent,
right?
Those are the days that stack up.
I know, that's what's important.
Because you don't want to break the chain, but if you can keep the chain together, even on times where you don't want to,
right?
that's the key. So
I know.
I don't know what you would be like if you were to set a goal for yourself. Let's say it's art related. What's a reasonable one? Maybe work on a drawing or
like how I'm doing. Like literally, like last night I was telling Mario I just started like a new painting, like, and it's just like oranges.
Looks really good.
Thank you. I feel like too with like my artwork, I just like put so many like restrictions or whatever like on myself too. I'm like, I have to do this piece by like a certain amount of time, and I can't work on like anything else other than this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't allow myself to just like freely do it, like with no limits, no rules or anything. And I need to tell myself that
you're your own boss,
right? And I feel like I don't know why I like forget that, but that's why I'm like, fuck it. Like, I just started drawing again last night, like, because I was like, I'm just gonna do this, and like if I finish it this week, next month,
you can finish
like,
it next year,
whenever. Yeah, as long as I'm like working on something. So I'm glad I started that.
Did you ever play Minecraft growing up?
Yes. I fucking love Minecraft.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
It's funny to say that. So probably once this is done, I'm probably gonna play.
Oh yeah.
Me and my friends thought about starting up a new world again.
Oh
last
my
night.
god! Literally, my friend just hit me up to start a new world too. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Lit.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's kind of one of those things where when you first start Minecraft and you have this whole world, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
First, you get the First you get a stick.
Right.
Or then you get a crafting box. Then you get an axe. Then you get this. Then you slowly progress.
Yeah.
And the beauty is in the process.
That's true.
Because you don't have a passion for it anymore once everything's done.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe for you, if you were to kind of just slowly ease your way back into it. Mm-hmm. But you have to understand, there's so many things that I think you could do that you would enjoy, but also be proud of.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. I don't know. There's little things that people can do, and they don't enjoy it, but they're good at it.
Right.
You seem like you enjoy art, which I think you do. You have a talent for it.
Thank you.
And I think if you were to, I think at some point you could be sketching parts at a wedding. Like certain areas.
Yeah, right. That's
you know? Or maybe even the bride and groom. Who knows? But that's like a future, obviously you have to work on your craft.
Right.
But you can make money off that.
I know.
Obviously money isn't...
Not everything.
Not everything. But...
It is important.
It's a gift of yours.
Yeah, and honestly, I've been talking about that like with my therapist too recently of like ways to incorporate like art into like my career. Like for instance, like I think an interest of mine is like art therapy.
Do you want to tell the people real quick what you majored in?
Oh, yeah. I majored in psychology with a minor in criminal justice.
And would you like to tell them what exactly you wanted to do with that?
Yeah, I feel like I have a couple things. Yeah, I have a couple things in mind. Like I said, art therapy is something that I've just like recently been like thinking about getting into. But also I love the criminal justice field as well. And some things that like I've had in mind that I would find interesting or that like I would like to do is like working with inmates like in prison and like doing things with like group therapy and just like doing things to help like the rehabilitation process like for inmates, because I feel like our system right now definitely lacks in that. So I would love to like contribute in any way that I could to that, to like make it better or just like be involved. Like that's something that I've always found really interesting.
What about the prison system has compelled you or attracted you to that? In terms of helping people that type of environment.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, my reason for it is because my brother went to jail. When I was in high school, he was in jail for, like, 3-4 years, something like that. So, like, he missed a majority of, like, my high school, like, years. So, he was there, like, to see me, like, graduate high school, but all the years prior to that, like, he wasn't around for.
How did that affect you personally?
A lot, I would say, because it was just me and my brother growing up. Like, I don't have any other siblings. Like, he was my only sibling. He's 9 years older than me, so we have a pretty big age difference. So like even just growing up, like we didn't play a lot together just because he was always like so much older than me. But yeah, so like I was always still really close with him. I love my brother, and we always had like a close relationship despite our like age gap. But yeah, definitely like with him going to jail at such like I feel like a pivotal time in my life, like really important years, definitely affected me a lot. I just feel like, I don't know, I just felt super like isolated and like kind of like embarrassed like too, just because like I would look to like all my friends who like had older brothers and like they were around like, you know, with them and stuff like that.
Did in a way people around you make you feel that way, or did you do it to yourself?
No, not at all. I feel
just
like
kind of
it was just my own
self-compared.
Yeah, because all the people in my life who knew that my brother was in jail were super supportive and like super nice, and like I have amazing friends who were like there for me for sure, and family too. Like everybody in my life who knew was like super supportive and everything, which was really nice. So yeah, it was just mostly just like me being like super in my head about it. And yeah, it was definitely hard because, you know, like, it's nice to have, like, a sibling when, like, your parents are fucking getting on your nerves and, like, you're able to, like, complain with your sibling. Because your sibling just gets it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have the same parents. Like, so it's just, like, it's on a different level than, like, complaining to, like, your friends or something. So I feel like
what did you do in a way to release that tension, in a way, whether it was in the house or in general, if you didn't have a sibling to...
Honestly, I feel like I didn't. And that's why I was, like, really... not doing well in like high school. Like I feel like mental health wise, like for instance, like I'm doing so much better. Like now this is probably like the best my mental health has like ever been.
Do you think you've been able to put on a good face, like a fake it till you make it type
sure
thing?
Yeah,
but behind closed doors you just...
Of course. I feel like that's something that if I'm good at anything, it's that.
That's pretty impressive.
It's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah,
I feel like for as long as I can remember, I've always had like that mask. Like presenting to other people that like everything's cool and like I'm cool, but then like yeah, when I'm alone I'm like fucked up. Like I feel like I've definitely always been like that, and especially in high school I feel like I was super like that, just because I don't know, I feel like I've always hated to be like a burden or like whatever to like other people, and like I don't want people to like pity me, like I don't need pity, and like so I feel like I kind of just like isolated myself a lot from like people, and like definitely kept a lot of shit like to myself during that time, and so I was just struggling like a lot like on my own, like, you know.
Is there anything or anyone that you give credit to for getting you through those times?
Yeah. Mr. Epp, actually, he was a psychology professor.
Shout out Mr. Epp.
Yeah, shout out Mr. Epp, bro. He, honestly,
nice.
like, I feel like there's certain people that come into your life and they're, like, just, like, blessings, because he was such a blessing in my life, like, during that time. Because I had, like, a really shitty relationship with my dad, like, all my life. And so he was, like, almost like a father figure, like, to me, and, like, somebody that I could look up to. And he was the person that got me into psychology, because I used to, like, how I was saying before, like, I didn't have plans of going to college. Like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just didn't care. And I took a psychology class with him, and, like, I fell in love with it. And he was like, you should go to school for this.
What
like,
about it made you really like it?
I don't know. I think it was just, like, being able to, like, understand people, like, on a different level, which I found, like, super interesting. Like, just being able to, like, analyze people and, like, kind of get more of an understanding of like why they are the way they are, why they do the things they do, like for me was just like really interesting, like because I feel like all my life I questioned that, like why is my dad acting this way, or like why is my family like this, like, you know what I mean? I was just always so many like whys, and I feel like
it really
learning,
gets you thinking though once you learn.
Exactly. And I feel like it definitely just piqued my interest, because it was kind of like figuring out that why. And so, yeah, he definitely helped me a lot, like, during that time. He was definitely, like, a guiding light, like, for me. And he was someone that also pushed me to, like, do school and, like, go to college, and, like, just, like, told me that I definitely had a lot to offer. And so, yeah, I really appreciated him, and he helped me a lot.
What do you think your life would have been like if you didn't go to college? What do you think the path would have been?
I don't know. I think, honestly, I would have been, like, fucked up. Because... Like I said, I feel like I'm lucky, because I feel like some people kind of go to school to like please their parents as well,
right?
And then they end up like fucking hating it, and there's like nothing that they find interest in. They don't like school or whatever, and they whatever. But even though I was like kind of doing it like more so for my parents, I feel like I got lucky in the sense that I actually really did like what I was learning, and like I fell in love with going to school.
Yeah.
So honestly, like I really don't know like what I would have been doing if I didn't go to college, because I just loved Central so much. I loved learning like the whole time I was there, and I don't know, that's just what felt right for me, because I know that school isn't for everybody either, and I feel like I just got lucky. It was something that felt right for me.
How would you describe your journey at Central from day one and on?
Oh my god, like crazy. I don't know. I feel like within these 4 years,
like, how do you sum up 4 years?
Yeah, right.
Pivotal years.
Crazy.
How do you do that?
I don't even know. I just feel like within these 4 years going to Central, a lot in my life has changed. Like, for instance, like, COVID, like, in the middle of my freshman year, like, going there definitely fucked a lot of things up. And also, like, during that year, my dad passed away, and it was still, like, while I was doing, like, online school for Central, and so that was just, like, a really shitty, hard time to, like, deal with, because... Like I said, I loved being at school to, like, get away from home. Like, I wanted to be out of my house as much as possible. So I feel like having COVID happen and then my dad passing away, like, that same year was just, like, so much that I was just, like, I have to change. Like, something in my life, like, needs to change.
What do you think that change was, or that thing that needed to be changed was?
I feel like it was more of, like, a... personal internal like change. Like I feel like when my dad died, that really opened my eyes, and I really appreciated life like so much more than I did before, because I used to be really suicidal, especially in high school. Like I was like admitted to the hospital, and like I used to self-harm like a lot.
Shit, dude.
And yeah, I just like I didn't see value in myself or like value in life. Like I was just so negative. I like literally like hated everything.
Where did that come from though?
From a lot. I feel like it came from a lot. Like, my dad passed away because he was an alcoholic, and so he just drank himself to death, essentially. And so growing up, like, with an alcoholic father was just, like, obviously not the best thing. And I don't know, I just feel like I've just always, I don't say this in, like, a negative or bad way. I love this about myself, but I feel like I've always been really sensitive and really emotional. And I feel like I've just always taken things, like, to the heart, like, really personal. And yeah, so, like, growing up, I feel like my family kind of, like, picked on me, like, in a sense, like, because I was so sensitive. Like, it was more like, okay, like, toughen up, like, stop being, like, a crybaby, like, you know. And, like, I feel like I wasn't really validated in, like, my emotions and stuff like that growing up. And so that really affected me because I tried to, like, be someone that, like, I wasn't, to, like, try to be, like, tough. And, like, even though I didn't feel, like, tough, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so I feel like a lot of that shit just, like, fucked me up. And also, like, I was, like, bullied in, like, middle school. And so, yeah, so, like, when I got to high school, I was just, like, I hated everything. I hated life. Like, I had no confidence, no self-esteem. Like, I was just super negative. And then also I was, like, living in a really negative, like, space and situation. So that obviously wasn't helpful. But
No family's ever perfect, but how do you
right.
think, or how do you envision a healthy family? What do you think that looks like?
I don't know.
Well, what do you think you would have wanted?
I think, honestly,
if you were to, hopefully no regrets.
No. Honestly, no.
Because everyone has their own path.
That's something I've learned. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing that I would change about what I went through growing up, because obviously it made me who I am today. And, like, if any of that shit didn't happen, like, even one thing, I wouldn't be me, who I am today. And I love who I am today. I love the person I am today. I love everything about myself now.
I'm sure that makes many people very happy to hear.
Yeah, thank God I'm able to say that, because that was, like, something I could not even, like, fathom in the past. But, yeah, so I'm grateful, despite all the shitty shit that I went through. I'm grateful I went through it, because I do think I'm a really strong person, and I'm really resilient, and I feel like I've gotten through a lot of shit on my own.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't go through those things on my own.
What do you think you would have wanted, though?
I don't know. I feel like something that I see is just, like, I wish my family validated me more. I feel like that would have
Validated how?
Like, validated my emotions. And,
so, like, saying, I hear and understand.
Yeah, like, instead of, like,
from.
Dismissing my emotions and just being like, stop being such a baby, like, grow up. Like, that's not something you want to say to your kids. Like, you know, so I just wish that, yeah, my family, like, validated me a lot more. And also, like, I feel like I wasn't, like, they didn't help me in, like, in terms of, like, my confidence. Like, they didn't say or do things to, like, help build my confidence. And I feel like that's something that I wished that they would have done, because in the past, like, I hated how much I had to struggle with, like, confidence and stuff like that. And it was just because a lot of the time my family wasn't, like, the most supportive in that aspect.
What do you think you personally could have done to boost your confidence while other things around you were lacking?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like maybe not being so in my head, like, about it, and, like, overthinking, like, definitely would have been helpful. I feel like I definitely just overthought everything.
I'm just trying to wonder what my path in high school was like compared to yours. It's just very interesting, because the fact that but you still were able to get along with everyone while you were dealing with all this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, I still had a group of friends. Like, I wasn't like.
So no one could have seen this coming.
Not necessarily, because I feel like.
Did you ever think about talking to friends about what was going on with you?
I feel like I definitely did. Like, my friends, or, like, my close group of friends, I feel like were pretty aware of, like, my situation at home. Like, they knew my dad was an alcoholic. They knew my brother was in jail. Like, they knew I was struggling with, like, mental health. Because, like, I had been self-harming since middle school. Like, so for a long time, like, I've been in therapy since I was 11. So, like.
Well, what do you think the reason for that was? Was it for self-harming? Was it because you just didn't, like, what did that do for you?
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like
everyone has their own.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's unique to everybody. Like, everyone has their own reasons. I feel like for me, my reasoning for it was just that I feel like I was just struggling and suffering a lot, like, internally, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know what to do with, like, all these big emotions that I felt. And so it was more of, like, a release, like, to self-harm, like. And also, it was, like, I felt like I deserved to, like, inflict like this pain upon myself, like, which is so like fucked to say.
So
like
sad.
I know it is really sad, like, which is why I thank God like I'm not like in that position anymore. But yeah, like I don't know, I just really felt like I just felt like I didn't deserve anything good. And
did you ever think about,
I don't know,
were you ever working out at the time or doing anything like that?
I was not in anything, like I wasn't.
Did you ever think about doing sports to release any
Yeah, but
stress?
I have really bad anxiety, and so I like would not try out because I was like I can't do that.
Shit.
So I was, yeah, so like I had really bad anxiety too, so like it stopped
So it
me.
really seemed like you were in a corner there.
I was, yeah.
Man.
I was like, yeah, I was really fucked. Like I feel like I didn't do sports because I was just like too scared of like what people would think of me, which is so stupid like to look back on, but it is what it is.
You
but
have to learn somehow.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
unfortunately your case was a little more extreme, but
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so let's say you did when you self-harmed, did you feel, I think I heard someone say like it reminds them, like, I don't want to use the word that they feel alive.
Yeah.
They're like,
I get that.
like it's like a way to.
It is.
I don't know how to describe it because
either.
I'm not someone who's ever done that, but
I totally get that.
I don't know because let's say somebody saw an injury that you sustained or whatever it was, or you told somebody, and they go, "Why don't you just like get a punching bag and just like punch it?" Or
right. Instead of doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Honestly, I feel like I don't know. Like I don't know why I necessarily like turned to doing that.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like I don't know. But I get that. I feel like I've heard people say like they do it too to like feel alive, like in a sense, because you're just in such, it's like so hard to explain if like you've never been in that place, to feel so alone and like in such a dark space. Like it's just like, it's not rational. Like, you know, like doing that and thinking that way is not rational. So
at what point do you feel that things turn for the better?
Honestly, when my dad died.
Really?
Yeah. And I feel
because of the wake-up call?
Yeah. And I feel like also, and I feel like
How soon after he passed, if you don't mind me asking, did that happen?
I feel like honestly, like within the month.
Really?
Yeah.
It
felt like a relief. Do you
remember where you were or what instance the feeling came over you?
I can't like pinpoint like a time or place like specifically, but I just feel like it was something that I don't know, I just feel like I realized, because like I said, my dad was an alcoholic and we did not have a good relationship. And so honestly, like with his death, for me, it brought a lot of like relief, because he, like having him in the house and being in the same house with him, like just, he was so negative. It just brought like everybody else down. And I don't blame him. Like addiction is a really fucking hard disease to deal with.
The worst in people.
Yeah. And I feel like I used to have a lot of like resentment towards my dad, like while he was alive. But after the fact, I feel like I definitely sympathize like with him, and I can't imagine like what it was like to be dealing with an addiction.
Do you feel that you're someone? Okay. Well, we're gonna do two examples, or two questions I have for you here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two men sitting against a wall outside somewhere. One of them has a suitcase and a tie and nice jacket and everything. The one next to him, raggedy clothes, appears to be homeless, has the tin can next to him, or something asking for change. Person goes up to them and says, "Why or how are you the way that you are?" Both of them say, "My dad was an alcoholic." So one of them used it as a reason why they're also kind of in a bad spot, and one of them used it as motivation.
Yeah.
Do you feel, and I think I know what your answer is going to be, but do you feel that in a way, because that happened, you're on a path to kind of honor your family's name and like turn things for the better?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like, for instance, like I used the word like resilient earlier, like to describe myself. Like I feel like I'm a super resilient person.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, a lot of that did come from like my dad's death too. I feel like it was a really big push and like a really big motivator like in my life to like really get my shit together and like think about my future. Because honestly, like in high school, like I didn't really think too much about my future, because like I didn't really think I was gonna live like that long. So, like, my future was not at all something I thought about.
What allowed you to keep going? I know you said you're obviously resilient,
Right.
but what was the one reason? Like, what was your why? I ask a lot of people that, and like when they work out, or
Right.
when what was your why? Was it, I want to prove myself?
I think
wrong?
I think it was like more to myself.
Did you
like,
ever look yourself in the mirror and you were like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
I think it was more, and even still now, I think it's like it's more so for myself than for anybody else.
That's how it should
like,
be.
Yeah, and yeah, I definitely just wanted to prove to myself, like, yeah, despite all these adversities that like I've gone through and like all these shitty fucking situations I've been like through and like put in,
Right.
I didn't want to like let that negatively affect my life and to just like overtake everything and let that be all. Like, you know, I really wanted to make something positive out of something negative. And so with my dad's death, that was like a really big motivator to thinking that way.
Yeah.
And to like trying to live my life in that way.
Wow.
So yeah.
So the other question I had for you was, and you can tell me if whether it was life at home that played a part into this, just nitpicking.
I forgot about this.
No, you're good. No, you're chilling. I mean, we're just chilling here. Yeah, I'm just drawing. We're just drawing because obviously she's the artist. So, let's say, at least let me say this. My therapist asked me this question. Do you think it is better to trust everyone and people? If you're listening or watching, pretty sure you can let us know what you think or let me know, comment, whatever, do all the good stuff. But do you think that it is better to trust everyone until or someone just gives you a reason not to trust them, or trust no one and they have to give you a reason as to why you should trust them?
I feel the first one.
Really?
That's who I am as a person.
I asked
feel
two
like
people that at the same time. Both gave different, and they said it with no hesitation.
Yeah.
So interesting.
I feel
why do you think that is?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm just someone.
Trust everyone path.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm someone who just always sees like the good in people. Like I feel like everybody has a good quality like about them, you know? And so I feel like I like to live my life by like love. And so I like to look at people in a good light. And I don't know, maybe that I feel like that could definitely fuck you over sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have good intentions, and I don't know, I feel like I always see the good in people, and
that is a nice way to think, huh?
Yeah.
I still don't know the answers to that question, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
I think both
I feel like both way like
they work.
Yeah, and they both have like pros and cons.
Yeah.
Like to them.
Because if you trust nobody, then it'll be harder to gain some, click with somebody and.
Right, because like.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely. I could see both sides.
So, now that you graduated, you got your degree. You're saying go for your master's.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talked a little bit about art, but is there anything on the agenda as of right now with you?
No.
Just taking it day by day?
Yeah. I feel like this year I'm going to really try to focus on myself as well. And kind of like...
So a year of growth?
Yeah. Like, I really want to like tap into myself and like... Well, like my purpose and like...
What do you think your purpose in this life is?
I don't know. I feel like my purpose...
I think you're someone who's meant to help people and bring out the best in them.
That's what I was going to say.
I definitely
feel
think
like
you're one of those beacons of light.
I feel like my purpose is just to like help people and like be a reminder of like good, and that like how I said earlier too, that like despite going through shitty situations, whatever, like there could still be a positive outcome. Like it doesn't always have to be negative. And I feel like that would be my purpose, is just to remind people that like they're still good. Like despite everything, they're still good. And life is beautiful. Life has a lot to offer. So
where do you see yourself when you're, let's say later in the decade, when you're 30 or 40 even? Where do you see yourself? As of right now, and that can change.
Yeah, right.
I would love to obviously have you on again in the future, but like what, like, and then it'd be funny if you look back, you're like, holy shit,
I know,
totally different, and you just become a freaking, I don't know, chef, like something completely random.
Right, like who knows? Like my life can go
in a
completely different direction.
But where do you project yourself as of right now, if you've even given it any thought?
Honestly, I just hope that I'm doing something that makes me happy. whatever it may be, like whether it is with my degree or not, I just hope I'm doing something that makes me happy. And I don't know, I see myself having a lot of land somewhere.
Land.
Yeah, somewhere nice, a lot of land, just chilling, doing something that I love.
What would you do to acquire that land? How would you go about that?
I don't know, hopefully if I have money.
You just know you want it?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
What's on this land?
A farm.
Detail. A farm?
Farm.
What kind of animals we got on the farm?
Definitely I want some goats, some chickens, maybe a cow.
Did you want
that's kind of a lot.
all the possible things so where you can, in a way, use...
Yeah, like I would utilize them. Yeah, like if I had chickens and hens, I would
have in your
eat
kitchen.
the eggs. Yeah, like I would use the eggs. If I have goat, you can have goat milk.
Yep.
Cows, you can have cow milk too.
True.
I'm
in the almond milk wave right now.
I hate almond milk. I would also like to have like a garden. Like I want to like grow my own fucking like vegetables and shit. Like really like that's like the goal for me. Like that's the goal. Like
so
in life.
Would you be willing to wake up that early in the morning to take care of?
Hell yeah, hell yeah, I would. That yes.
So
I would.
That's what it would take to get you to wake up early.
Yeah, because there's other people and living things relying on me. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's not just about myself.
Wow. What about family? Do you picture yourself having a family?
Oh, yeah, of course. I would love to. Yeah, definitely. I feel like, yeah, I would love to be a mom and have a family. I just feel like I would definitely, like, provide my kids with just, like, a lot of, like, what I lacked. And I feel like that would also help me, like, kind of heal a lot of, like, my inner child as well.
Right.
And, like, the things that I lacked, like, growing up. And so being able to, like, fulfill that and give that to my kids, I feel like would be, like, amazing for me.
How would you go about that? Like, if you were to give me an example. Like, let's say your kid goes up to you and says that somebody's picking on them or... I don't know. So even if it's something small.
Right.
Like have you ever, like...
Right. Okay.
Have you ever pictured a scenario?
I feel like, yeah, for that example, for instance, like, how I said I got bullied. I was, like, I told my family, like, I was getting bullied. Like, I was very, obviously, upset about this. And the response that I was met with was, stop being such a little kid. Like, stick up for yourself. Like, why are you going to cry about it? Like, you know, like, that's what I was met with. Like, the response I was met with.
Right.
And I feel like I just would not belittle my kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, their emotions are valid. Like, their big emotions are valid.
Would you want a tough child or an emotional one? Or one that somehow finds a way to balance both?
I don't know. I feel like either or.
Do you think, what do you think's the better one?
I don't know. I don't think there necessarily is, like, a better one. Either. I wouldn't mind having either. Yeah. I love that I'm emotional, so I would love to have an emotional child, but I also wouldn't mind if my child was, like, tough. I don't know.
Do you feel that in a way, by having kids, it would heal your inner child because while they experience things for the first time, it's as if you're experiencing them for the first time?
Yeah,
and in a way, hopefully you're providing it in a healthier circumstance.
Right.
So you're kind of saying, wow, this is nice.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like I was saying, too, I didn't do, like, a lot of, like, extracurricular, like, activities. Like, I wasn't in sports.
So what did you do when you went home?
Nothing.
After school? Really?
Nothing.
Watch TV or something?
I can't even tell you. Like, I don't know.
Wow. I always wonder that. Because I don't want to stereotype or anything, but as a guy, I don't know if it's a stat or anything, I feel that more guys play video games than girls. I don't know if that's a... That's a
I definitely didn't play video games, but, like, I played Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like, but that was in middle school.
I always wonder what girls did, aside from
sports. That's what I did.
I always wonder what girls did to pass the time.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, for me, my personal experience, I had, like, friends who were, like, in Girl Scouts and, like, shit, like, did stuff like that. I never did anything like that.
Right.
But I feel like middle school, though, was, like, when I would go home and, like, play Minecraft. Like, that was, like, my escape, honestly.
Minecraft
like, middle
is
school.
Therapy.
Like, literally,
nice
I would go home. As soon as I got home, I would play Minecraft until, like, dinner time.
Get a nice dog.
Yeah. Like, that was all I did all throughout middle school.
Do you feel that... What are your thoughts on people who they'll play video games and upgrade their I heard someone say this. I forget who,
Mm-hmm.
but they said, "Why do you sit at home and upgrade your character or your house and video games, but like you don't do these things in real life around you?"
Mm.
What do you think about that? Like, do you think, what do you think's the best way for someone to like get the best out of someone? Like, if you had a friend and you felt like they have potential
Mm-hmm.
and something in general, how do you bring that out of them? Like, have you ever
I
had to
don't
do that for
know.
someone?
I know. I feel like that's like really hard to do, honestly, because
Like, if you had a friend that you felt was whether out of shape or they have an addiction or whatever it is, like,
mm-hmm.
do you think you'd be that type of friend to
I feel
like
like
they talk to them and be like, hey, what's going on?
yeah, I feel like I try to be that person, like for my friends, like to know that like I come from a place of like no judgment,
Yeah,
and I feel like I'm definitely a friend. I feel like you need to have friends around you who kind of like do point out your maybe not so good behavior, because I think that's important.
right.
Like especially within like your friends, like you can't have all like yes men's, like you know what I'm saying, like in your friend group. But I don't know. I feel like that's really hard because I feel like something that I've learned, is that like you can say to someone like a million things, but like if they don't choose to like see that for themselves, then like anything you say won't change that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell somebody, for instance, for someone who's like who doesn't think they're attractive, whatever, they think they're ugly. You can tell them a million times a day, you're beautiful, you're pretty, whatever, like but if they themselves don't see themselves as pretty or beautiful, they're never going to. Like despite how much you tell them.
They have to want it.
They have to want it and they have to see it for themselves.
Right.
So I feel like that's tricky because yeah, you can say a million things to someone and if they just don't choose to listen, they won't listen.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that yesterday with somebody. I like to use this example,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to toxic relationships, from what I've seen and
Right.
experienced, I guess you could say, just amongst friend groups, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have a friend and they find a person they're talking to very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
They like a lot of things about them, but there are some alarming red flags. Alarming. And you try to tell them, hey, this person isn't good for you.
Right.
That's like telling a kid his favorite toy in the
Right.
toy store,
Mm-hmm.
he can't have it.
Right.
So, if you really think about it that way, in that analogy,
Mm-hmm.
imagine trying to get somebody to stop having feelings or stop
Right.
wanting or pursuing a certain thing.
Right.
So you
Right,
just gotta
to an
give you just
extent,
gotta
you
give it time,
can.
and they have to learn.
Right, you
There's
can't.
certain things in life you have
Yeah.
to just learn and
Right, like
deal with on your own.
yeah, for sure. Like
Not everyone can help you with that.
no. It's just like yeah, like for instance, like with my dad, he was an
Yeah.
alcoholic. Me crying or my mom crying or like begging him to stop, like didn't stop him. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't make that choice like actively himself to like get better. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and that was just the choice he made. You know, so
I also think that how would I word this? I think that there's certain things in life that I'm glad I wasn't taught, and one of the big ones is you can't control who's in or not in your life. And you got to kind of be at peace with that.
yeah.
Like trying to, because I was someone who was, I felt all through high school I was trying to. So picture it's like a boat that's sinking, constantly trying to bail out the boat rather than
Right.
just kind of saying, you know what, there's a life raft right here. I'll just
Right.
sail out somewhere else,
Mhm.
and I'm just trying to save the burning boat or the dying boat.
Yeah.
I've always felt that was the case, and
Mhm.
I felt that I was glad I was never told that and had to experience it.
Mhm.
There's certain things I wish my parents taught me. I can't
Right.
name something specific at the moment, but I definitely feel that there's some knowledge some of my friends got
Right. Yeah.
that
me
I
too.
didn't.
Yeah. Same.
But I'm glad because now I know some of the things I'm lacking or didn't learn.
right.
I can just teach my kids.
Right.
But I definitely think there's certain things you need to learn on your
Yeah.
own that you can't be told.
Definitely.
Also, what could be another one? Maybe heartbreak. Everyone goes through
Yeah.
heartbreak at some point.
Mhm.
You got to learn how to
Deal
cope with
with it.
that.
Yeah.
You have to.
Right. Because like
Heartbreak
at the end of the
sucks.
day, like nobody is going to be in your shoes. Like,
yeah.
And no one's ever going to fully understand what you're feeling. Because you can go through the same situation, but two different people can feel completely different about it. You know?
Yeah.
So, you can't put yourself in, like, somebody else's shoes. But that's why, for me, I feel like sometimes I can be more of, like, just like a listener rather than somebody who gives advice, because I feel like sometimes it's good just to have, like, a shoulder to lean on.
You're kind of like a sponge, you'd say?
Yeah. Because I feel like I'm definitely good at, like, you can, like, trauma dump. You can fucking tell me the worst shit that's ever happened to you, and it really won't affect me. Like, I'm not, like,
really?
it doesn't weigh heavy on me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, like, and, like, bring it home with me type shit. I feel like you can dump that on me, and, like, I'll listen, I'll be there for you, and then that's it.
But you wouldn't be a therapist?
I don't know. I personally, that's not something that, like, I want to do. Even though I'm doing psychology, I don't see myself necessarily as, like,
right.
a therapist. Like, we're, like, right now, like, sitting one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe far down in the future, once I get, like, a lot more experience or something, maybe that'll be something that, like, I'm interested in.
Maybe.
But at the moment, no.
But, okay, so let's pivot. So,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to art and drawing,
Mm-hmm.
what about it has compelled you to enjoy it so much?
I don't know. I just feel like ever since I was a little kid, that was just something that, like, clicked inside of me. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like everybody has, like, interests in things or, like, passionate about certain things, and it's just natural to you. Like, it's just, like, what you like. Like, there's no reasoning. Like, it is what it is. And I feel like that's how I feel about art. Like, for as long as I can remember, like, I always loved, like, art class, like, at school, like, even in elementary school, like, that was my fucking favorite thing to do when we would go to art class, like,
yeah.
I loved it, like, and so a lot of my memories are, like, from art class. Like, I was just telling my therapist, too, like, I remember the first time I saw, like, the Starry Night, like, in elementary school, and I was fucking, like, mesmerized. Like, I was like, wow, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, you know what I mean? It was just something that just, like, clicked inside me, and it was just something that I always held, like, very close ever since then.
Are there any artists or any things that you've watched or looked at to help inspire you or motivate you in that way?
No.
Like, do you never in your free time just, like, looked at stuff and learn
Not
how to
even.
apply it to yourself?
No.
Do you think that would even interest you, or do you think everyone has their own?
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know about for me if that's something, like, that, like, really interests me. I mean, I love, like, learning about art and, like, going to, like, museums and, like, seeing all the artwork and, like, stuff like that, but I've never been somebody who really knows, like, artists by, like, names. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I know, like, who everybody knows, like, fucking, like, Picasso and, like, Vincent van Gogh. Like, I feel like those are, like, the artists that I know. I don't really know, like, too many people, like, out
Who's
of that.
to say? What if you start a art page or something, or just post TikToks or whatever, and people say they want to buy your drawings and paintings, and maybe one day you get something ending up in a museum.
Right, that'd be really cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think you need to start. I really do. And we've talked about this months ago. We have.
I know.
I think you just need to start.
Me
like
too.
That, I personally believe that, and I'm sure you've made a lot of art in your time at Central, and a lot of paintings and a lot of drawings. You put in a lot of work.
Right.
Even if it's the little things. Like, people need, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Even if it's a friend saying, wow, that looks incredible. You need to let people, in a way, let you feel validated.
Right, because
you're not giving yourself credit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Giving yourself credit also comes from other people.
I was going to say, because I feel like it's almost like,
because you're hiding a gift from the world.
That's
let the world see your gifts.
That's what I was
and
trying
you're
to
passionate
say.
About your gifts, and that allows you to live a healthier life.
I don't know what it is. I feel like super like I don't want to, like, show people almost. Like, I don't know why. Like,
do you know how on Instagram you have the little highlight things?
Yeah.
Just start an art one. Put on your story. Add it. Even if we gotta start somehow.
Right. I just feel like it's super vulnerable.
Can I tell you what people do? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm one of them. Unless you're like a close friend. Even then.
Yeah.
Because this is how everyone is these days. Picture this in my phone. I'm on Instagram.
Right.
Stories at the top.
Right.
That's what everyone does.
Right.
Like, sometimes I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, are people gonna judge me if I put?
Right.
They forget 2 seconds later.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I just
let yourself.
Like I said, I think it's vulnerability. Like, I feel like that's super. Like, my artwork, I feel like it's super vulnerable. Like, because it's something I'm really passionate about. And, like,
that's what art is, dude.
I feel like, so I feel like I get scared of, like, showing people because I just feel like it's so vulnerable. Like, it's so, I don't know,
do you think is more scary?
What do
you think is more scary? You showing someone what you just made, more times than not, it's very, actually, I'll just say all the time, look good to the average eye.
Right.
Or, going up to a stranger and asking them for help with something.
Yeah, no.
Just show them.
Yeah. I know.
What's going to happen? You can even post, starting a sketch, don't know where to go from here. Any idea? Like, little...
Right.
You know, why not?
Yeah.
I think that your inner child is holding you back.
Yeah.
The what ifs, the hesitancy.
Yeah, for sure.
The truth is, in this world, is nobody cares. And,
I know.
And you of all people kind of surprised me because, like I said, this person who last came out, he's a life coach, and he was saying, you know, it's so cliche, but everyone's dies.
Yeah.
We all have an expiration date. So, and we walk around like we don't.
Right, and that's what I like to remind myself of, too, because it's important.
And you're someone who's gone through serious grief and stress, and you've come out on the other side of it, so you would think that you would have this gratitude and, yeah, I don't care, like, I'll do that. But you don't allow yourself to.
Right, it's
and
like...
that's just so interesting to me.
I feel like I slip in and out of it, almost.
Yeah.
Like... I feel like there'll be times where, like, I'm super like that, where, like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, like, yeah, we're all gonna die, like, I don't care, like, but then I'll slip back into, like, how I am now, like, where I'm like, no, like, I don't want to show you, or, like, you know, like, shy about it, or, like, whatever it may be, like, I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like that's life, like, nothing is ever constant, like, life is always happening, and, like,
for sure,
you're always going through the movements,
but I think that if it's, so, let's say you have a group of friends. When you think of... So, it's like word association. When I think of this, I think of that.
Right.
When people think of you, what do you want them to think of? Aside from personality.
Right.
You want them to think of, oh, Cynthia, she's artist. Artist. So, for me, that's why I kind of started I didn't have that.
Right.
Mario. Cool guy.
Right.
What the fuck is that? I'm not doing anything.
So what, though?
Athlete. Oh, nice guy. Athlete.
I get that.
Podcaster, artist, musician. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone's known for something. That's your gift.
Yeah.
You got to harness that.
I know, I definitely do.
And I think life would be a lot easier, too.
I know.
I'm telling you, I think it would. Let me tell you something. So, when I played high school football, and I was on a schedule, a regimen,
right.
I was always, in a way... not baby or spoon fed, but in a way I was, because all the players had things laid out for them.
Yeah.
As soon as high school ends, no more sports, no more coaching.
Right.
You're kind of left to the wolves.
Yeah.
Figure it out. And when I stopped working out, I felt guilt that I wasn't taking care of myself.
Right.
And now I'm at a point where when I wake up, or whenever I wake up, because I'm sure people know whatever. But I wake up at 5 a.m. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning on weekdays. I go work out, go to work. That's how I start my day.
Right.
And and the hardest part is, without a doubt, just getting up and going.
Right.
Because once you're there, you're not going to just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. You're going to do shit. So... When I look at myself in the mirror when I'm at the gym or wherever, I always remind myself each day.
Yeah.
Because I'm putting myself in the spot.
I know.
It's not like I'm at home thinking about it. I'm there.
Right.
In the fire. Thinking to myself, wow, I could be home right now, depriving myself of this opportunity to get better and healthier. So maybe for you, you know, if you set an obligation to better yourself in that way.
And I feel like that's what I've been doing.
On something, yeah.
Like, because like last night, like how I just started like a new painting. Like I was like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna start. And like I'm looking forward to like doing that later on tonight. Like like to continue doing
That's
it.
fantastic.
So I feel like I'm happy that like you just have to start. Like I feel like, and that's what I struggle with. Like
But
starting.
the thing
too.
is that you have started forever.
Right.
It's a matter of telling people.
Yeah.
That you've not only started, like you are doing.
Right, because I feel like it definitely used to be a bigger part of my identity, for instance, but now it's not.
What do you think is more frustrating?
Mm-hmm.
Someone who aspires, and they're actually both frustrating. Mm-hmm. Someone who aspires to be an artist, but they won't even pick up a pencil or pen or paintbrush and start.
Right.
Or someone who is well established to the average eye.
Right.
And they won't show people.
Right.
To me, it's that one. Because, like, you can get... I got a friend... Go. Do something.
Right.
Let's see.
Right.
But for you, you've been doing it.
Right.
And it's like, you don't need to be... Oh, this is how you draw. This is...
Right,
you
right,
know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
I know, because I get it, because it's like, why am I not? Like, why am I not?
Yeah.
I get it. I know, and I feel like that
true.
even frustrates myself because, yeah, it's like, I know I'm good at it. Like, and I know I can do it. Like...
It's like...
So why don't
it's like you have a friend who could be on American Idol, but they don't want to...
Right. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, that's
what are you
true.
doing? Go.
I know.
Go try out. Go to the X Factor.
I know.
Try it.
Yeah, that's true.
But and I'm not even telling you, go to a museum and say, hey, what do you think of this? Nah, just
yeah, right.
Make a page and do it. And I'm telling you right now, once this is over, I'm gonna like help you, like today.
Thank you. I know. I feel like
I'll be the person that helps you get that push.
I feel like now that like I started this painting too, like I hope this is like a catalyst, like to continue doing it, like as well, because I feel like something that's also like stopped me like from like starting the Instagram or whatever is that like I don't have a lot of like newer drawings or paintings. It's all like years old worth of work, and so I feel like if I were to start like an Instagram, I'd want it to be like, because I feel like my art is always changing too, like with me aging, like I feel like it's different, my style and like whatever, like that changes too, and so I feel like I would like to do art now and like post like my newer and like drawings and paintings. So I feel like
start with
once
this one.
I feel like once I get like in the flow and I'm really like cultivating these drawings or these paintings, I feel like that would make me want to post it more. I don't know.
What you should do in a way to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
is make a notes thing.
Right.
Make a notes tab or whatever, and make yourself sign something. Or what you can do is, oh my God, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. What this guy just told me. What you can do is this apply for working out. Maybe this could be applied when it comes to your art.
Right.
Send a best friend of yours or someone you could trust, like X amount of money.
Right.
And say, if I don't do this by this time, you get to keep the money.
Ooh. Yeah, right. I need something like that.
You need something to hold you accountable.
Like that. Yeah. Because, like I was saying earlier,
but the thing is you like it, but everyone loves shit.
Right.
But the discipline and consistency is the hardest thing that any human has to face.
Yeah.
Like I told you earlier, I had to sign a contract to
right.
keep going to the gym. But but now I'm getting to a point where I want it. You need to get that itch where like, holy shit, like I need to get on my shit and go to work. Mm-hmm. You know, I think you should try that.
Right, I need something like that, to hold myself accountable, like to really hold myself accountable, like something that's like tangible, like not
do the money thing,
just words. I feel like that's
money,
like a really good idea.
Everyone
that's
loves
a fucking good incentive.
Everyone loves money.
Yeah, that's true.
And I know you would be mad as hell if you're like, I could have finished this a week ago and I just lost $100 because I didn't.
Right, I know.
Do it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I feel like
and then you'll be getting shit done, and it's gonna come to a point where you won't even need to do that anymore.
Right, just do it. Right, because I want to get to that point where it's like I'm just.
You want to get to it's I believe 30 days to build a habit.
Yeah,
that was my biggest goal.
Right.
Let me get to the where I get the itch.
Yeah.
Because there'll be times where I don't wake up early.
Right.
And I'll still work out.
Right.
But when I'm letting it drag on, I'll start to touch my face and I'm like, rubbing my legs. Like I need to do something, or else I'm letting myself down in a way.
Right.
I think you should. And then
Right.
boom. And then as soon as, let's say you finish that, boom, post it, caption it, name it, sign it, title it. You could submit it somewhere too, along with your posting. You can reach out to people and And dude, here's the thing: if you have real ass friends, dude, just be like, "You want to buy my painting for like $5?" Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I used to do that. I used to like give my paintings to like my friends.
Yeah, and I'm sure. Don't you also do the iPad sketch?
Yeah, but I honestly don't really like that. I found that I don't like that.
Yeah.
I thought I would, but I like more of like
But if you wanted to, you can help people make logos. You can.
Right.
There's so many things you can do. So many.
I know.
And make a couple bucks, and you also get satisfaction regardless.
Right.
Even if you don't make money, you're still satisfied. And you're always saying, "Good job! Wow, this looks fantastic."
Right. That's why I was happy last night that I just started this painting, because like I was saying.
And see, now that you're talking about it,
I know
there's gonna be some people that are like, "Well, shit, now we got to see this painting."
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
true.
Right. I know.
And what happens a month from now?
I'll definitely finish it soon.
What happens
though.
a month from now if people are like, "What the fuck happened to that painting?"
Where the fuck is the painting? Where is it?
Now you have pressure. Now this is pressure.
Yeah, that's true. I know. I feel like I'm glad I started it because I feel like I was like, I'm just gonna draw. Like literally, like I was like, no thought. Like I'm just gonna fucking put the pencil to the paper and draw. And that's like just what I came up with. Like I was like, oranges. I'm gonna just fucking draw oranges, man.
It's so nice.
And I love how it's coming out so far. Like I'm excited to finish it. Like, and I feel like I'll finish it probably before the end of this week, honestly. Like, so I feel like, I know.
You can hang them up all around your.
That's what I want to do.
crib.
I mean, I have paintings hung up like in my apartment right now, like of stuff that I've done.
My sister-in-law, she actually was the one who made the Ariana Grande paintings.
Oh, really?
Right there, yeah.
Oh.
She gave them for me for my birthday like 2-3 years ago.
Oh, see, that's
that's
nice.
art. Like that's everlasting.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's what I love about art. That's why I was saying like I wouldn't want to make like an Instagram and post like my older artwork because I feel like it's like little time capsules almost. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
just start.
That's what I made at that time.
You just need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where it is, when it is.
Right.
Just start.
Yeah.
And then you slowly. But I really think the accountability thing will help a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like that's something that I need.
Pressure creates diamonds.
Yeah.
It's true though.
I know. Yeah.
Aside from art, though, do you feel that there's any other things that you enjoy that you want to work on? Like, I know you obviously you say you want to farm.
Yeah.
Is there, I don't know if at like an apartment or a house of yours, like where you start a little garden or something?
I have 2 plants in my apartment, but
better than none.
Yeah, right. I guess it's true. I don't have anywhere at the moment to like actually garden, like in the way that like I would like to. But...
Do you have a projection or hope as to, and no pressure, politics aside, in this economy, to afford a house, afford anything?
Yeah, I know.
Give 4 eggs.
Yeah, right. Deadass.
But do you have a projection as to when you would want a house or?
I would say at
something?
least like within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope so. Maybe not like exactly the way I envision it in 10 years, but like to at least like all I really want is like land. And then to build from there. Because I feel like that's also, like, an investment, like, in itself. Like, to have property and, like, put a lot of money into it. Like, I feel like that's an investment. So, that's kind of, like, what I have in mind.
I definitely think there's a lot of things that you have ideas of. Right. It's just a matter of doing it. I think you have many gifts and creative ideas for sure. Right. Just gotta do it. Yeah. Did you ever talk about that with your therapist? What did your therapist tell you?
Yeah. I feel like last time I met with her, actually, we were just talking about art. Like, because we're right now talking about, like, my passions and, like, finding what I'm passionate about. And we were just talking about art. And I feel like she says, like, the same things to me, though, in terms of, like, I have a lot to offer. And I just need to do something about it.
The thing is, and this goes for anybody, I don't want to make it sound like it's targeted towards you. Right. But you're going to therapy, which clearly shows in some area or facet of life you want to better yourself.
Right. 100%.
Therapy costs money. It's not free. It's great. It's highly recommended. Right. But it's not it's not free. So you have friends telling you
Right.
You have therapists telling you, which are the professionals.
Right, but see, this exactly goes back to what I was saying earlier. That like so many people can tell you something, but if you choose to not do it.
But so how would it feel if I said, Cindy, I think you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I don't really think you're an artist. I think you're a fraud. Do you think that would light a fire and be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I'm not an artist. You'd take that personal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, maybe, but I feel like
if somebody told me I can't do something, I'm like obviously like reasonable.
Right,
if someone's
right.
like, can't make the NBA, like agreed.
Yeah.
but if somebody said, Cindy, I don't think you're talented. You can't draw. You can't paint. I'd be like, fuck you.
I see, but
I would say draw a fucking orange.
Right, for me,
I'll show
it's
you
like,
a fucking orange.
I feel like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like my humility or like what, but I feel like I would be like, yeah, you're right.
Why though? you gotta. There's gotta be certain things in life you're very passionate about. I see your stories sometimes.
I love taking pictures.
Yeah, no, but you, whether it's certain communities in the world or a representation or people or certain things, I see what you put in your stories.
I feel like it's hard for me though. Like that's why I said the word humility because I feel like it's hard for me to like.
You got to be a little cocky sometimes.
Yeah, like I struggle with that. Like I feel like it's like genuinely it like makes me uncomfortable.
See,
like to an extent to be like, oh, I'm good at that.
Picture this
like
way.
I don't know why. Like I just feel like
this isn't Mario. This isn't Mario's episode. This isn't Joey's episode. This isn't Samantha's episode. This is Cindy. This is your life.
Right.
You are the main character in your own life.
That's true.
You need to live that way.
Right.
I'm not even trying to sound cliche.
No, but it's true.
Seriously, like you are here right now in this present moment, and it is about you.
Right.
It's not about. I love y'all. Listen to watch it, but it's not about them, right? In this given moment, it's about you.
Right.
And in a way, agreeing to come on here, you're saying, I wouldn't mind having a little bit of spotlight on me.
Honestly, yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
And because if you're not living life like the main character, then what the hell are you living for?
I know.
I say that to everybody. Mm-hmm. If, like, obviously, if you're cocky to an extent, it could get annoying to people.
Right.
But like, you have to be a little cocky or confident. Like, it's your life.
Right.
You, I forget the number.
Mm-hmm.
The chances of even existing are slim to none.
Right.
Less than slim to none.
Right.
But you have a chance at the game of life.
Right.
And you're playing in it right now.
Right.
But it's a matter of, like, do you want to, like, just go through the motions, or do you want to genuinely say, like, I have a story to tell?
Right.
How great do you think it would be if 30 years from now, you have your family, and you have paintings everywhere.
Yeah, right, awesome.
And your kids are like, my mom is a kick-ass artist.
That would be awesome.
That's fucking legendary.
Yeah,
You kidding me?
Right.
And let's say one of them's like, shit, Mom, my friend, he broke this or something. And she's like, he was wondering if you could, like, do that. And you're like, yeah.
Right.
Cool. Sure. Show me.
Yeah.
You become an expert. I feel like it'd be so cool.
That would be really cool.
I think we made a lot of progress today, Cindy.
I
didn't even know what was going to happen with this episode. But I think this was very healthy. This was great.
Yeah, right. I know. I had fun. I'm happy I'm on here.
I told you I was going to ask you 3 things.
Yeah.
Before we started.
Yes.
Do you think you're ready to answer them?
Yeah.
You sure?
I feel like I have, like, things in mind.
Before we do, though. Because, like I said, it's your episode. And I want to make sure everyone shares what they have to share.
Yes.
Do you feel like there's anything pressing? Because this is your chance to get your voice out there.
Right.
Share anything's bottled up inside. Do you feel that you've released any things into the atmosphere that you wanted to share? Or do you feel like there's anything that you want to let anyone, friends or family, hear before we wrap things up?
I feel like...
Just to make sure. Leave nothing on the table.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Fuck, man. I just feel like try your best to live life by you and, like, be true to yourself and, like, believe in yourself. And I try to remind myself of that as much as I can. And I want to live my life by that. I want to feel confident in myself and the decisions I make. And I feel like that's important to really believe in yourself and trust in yourself. Like, despite whether people agree with you or not and, like, what you plan to do or whatever, I feel like the way you feel about yourself is more important than what anybody else thinks. And I try to live my life by that.
Favorite show or movie? Or both? Or one to recommend?
Favorite show, Dexter. Dexter, of all fucking time.
Yeah.
That's nothing will ever top that show.
Incredible.
Yeah, fucking amazing. If you haven't watched Dexter, you need to get on that shit right now.
Yeah.
Favorite movie? Favorite movie is hard. I feel like I love so many movies, but I feel like The Lovely Bones. That's like top.
I think you commented on that when I posted on my.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That movie was sad.
That movie is fucked. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
it's so
sad
good.
Movie.
It's really good though.
Ooh.
That's like one of my top.
I don't know if that's a movie I could watch again because
because
it hurts.
Yeah, I've watched that movie like so many times.
It hurts to watch.
I know,
I know
but
it's just actors.
It's crazy.
But it could be such a real.
And also The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games.
Hunger Games series.
Yeah, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Those movies are great too.
Oh, Katniss.
Yeah, love that shit.
Album, favorite or one to recommend to the people?
I feel like Amy Winehouse, Frank, great fucking album.
Favorite song off it?
Take the Box, I think. I love that song. Take the Box.
Amy Winehouse is fantastic.
She's fucking great. She's fucking the best.
I always think about whenever she comes on in my car, I get so sad.
I love her.
I just
her
keep
music,
thinking about what could have been.
Right.
Because she won.
But I feel like that was her purpose, though. Like, I just feel like the music that she made in the time that she was alive and what she put out, like...
Which is perfect.
That was just, like, her purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I do wish that, like, obviously, like, that she didn't fucking die so young, but...
Did you see her documentary on Netflix?
I did. It's really sad.
It's so sad.
I know, that's why I love her. I feel like... I don't know, I feel her music really speaks.
Another victim of the paparazzi and media.
Right.
But it was just insane to see this.
I feel like I relate to her a lot.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I love that album specifically. A lot of people like the Back to Black album. I don't really like that album. But, Frank, I just love Amy because I think she's...
Frank, is that where she's wearing the pink dress?
Yeah. With the two dogs.
My favorite song off that album is Stronger Than Me. I think it's on there.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah, Stronger Than Me.
I
love that song. I also love In My Bed. In My Bed is also a really good song.
And is there a song called Cherry?
Yeah.
With the guitar?
Yeah, I love that one. I know that whole... yeah, right. I know that whole fucking album.
Tremendous.
It's so good. I just feel like... she's really true. Like, if you really listen to, like...
That, yeah, I think that was
the lyrics in that album, she's, like, very honest that she's not a perfect person and that she makes mistakes and she knowingly doesn't do the right things and she owns up to it and is, like, fucking honest. Like, and that's why I love that album so much because, like, I feel like sometimes people, like, maybe get scared or, like, don't like to own up to, like, doing bad things or making bad decisions or whatever it may be, but she was, like... I don't give a fuck, like, I didn't make a good choice or I did a bad thing, and, like, I'll be honest with that. And I feel like I really appreciate that.
It was just so nice incredible to see this woman, and there were so many great artists at the time, early 2000s, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Kanye.
Right, yeah.
There's a bunch of people that come up or in the prime already. And she won... Album of the Year with Back to Black, I think, or was it that or Frank?
It was Back to Black, yeah.
And she didn't even expect it, and she won.
I know. See, that's why I love her. I feel like she was so, like, humble, and, she was so unapologetic. Like, she was just so authentically her, and, like, didn't care about what anybody fucking thought about her, like, at all. Like, she was just true to herself.
Would you call her an idol of yours?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love her so much. Like, I do.
Unapologetic. And did what she wanted.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're doing what you want?
To an extent, yeah. I try my best to.
That's respectable.
Yeah.
Last but not least. And you've already said a lot of good stuff for the record. But if you think you could pull another quote, everlasting quote, and obviously, like I said, I'd love to have you on again.
Yes.
But do you think, or words of advice or wisdom, do you think you can drop a nice little dime here?
I don't know,
for the people for the one time.
I don't know.
You can even speak to your future self. It doesn't even need to be to the people or
I just feel like
whatever it is.
I just feel like I keep saying the same things, but I really do mean it. Like, about just, like, being true to you. And, like, yeah, like how I just said, even, like, being unapologetic. Like, being unapologetically you, I think is really important. Yeah. I don't know what else.
Dude, this was great.
I know, right?
And you spoke into the mic as weren't phased whatsoever, but you have a little bit of experience.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, we didn't tap into that. Yeah, that's a whole other thing, too.
Do you want to?
We can.
We can. I guess. You're not on a time crunch.
I mean, yeah, I used to make YouTube videos. I used to try to be a YouTuber when I was in middle school, like, early. In high school, I kind of stopped because then I really started caring about, like, what people thought, and I was like, oh, hell no, like, people are gonna see these videos, like, what the fuck, like, that's mad weird. So then I, like, stopped in high school, but yeah, I used to be a YouTuber.
Once a YouTuber,
I used to vlog. I used to fucking make crazy edits. I love that shit.
You're an artist and you're a creator.
Yeah,
and
I feel like
one step at a time
is definitely true to me.
Because you know what you can do also? And oh my god, people rave over it. Mm-hmm. If you recorded the process of you starting a sketch all the way to painting
my god,
you fast forward.
Oh my god, yeah.
I just made you.
I know.
I just made you $1 million.
Because I love that shit.
I just made you $1 million.
I love that shit. Yeah, right, man.
You just start something on TikTok, and then you.
I need to get like the whole like, video tripod
and
or
just
some
fast
shit.
forward it.
Yeah.
Drawing,
so
shading, painting, done.
Mhm.
So people can't get enough of that.
Yeah, right. That's true.
We're gonna figure something out right after.
Yeah, I know.
I got you.
I know. Right with that.
But with that said, it is that time.
Yeah,
Everyone has a story and it's still being written. I love every single one of you. Keep going in life. Never quit. Never give up. It's like a John Cena thing right there.
Hell yeah.
Not bad. Hustle, loyalty, respect. I admire each and every one of you. I respect every single one of you. Nobody's perfect. Keep being you. Be unapologetic.
Yeah, be unapologetic.
Yeah. Or she peaked in high school. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Mario. I had an awesome time.
Yeah, this is great. Ciao for now, folks.